Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin liquidation heat map. And I have Model 2 selected there, symbol selected, and 12 hours selected. And isn't everything nice and neat, symmetrical? Price actions just going sideways in the skinny little line, and everybody's giving it plenty of room. And anyway, okay. All right, so now here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar index on the hourly time frame where we last left off on Thursday. Thursday's close gave us a close above. Where are we here? There we are. There we are. We closed above the purple dashed line here, which was the 4-hour Gaussian channel. That also gave us a fresh daily candle above our blue aqua line, neckline of our inverse head and shoulders, which we have failed to hold as confirmation, but I do believe that this line is significant, and that once we do hold a daily candle on there, maybe the next time around that will lead to a significant move upwards. Now, so we did close above both of these and then proceeded to fall back down, which was okay because as long we could, I do believe it would be okay to wick down in here on the 4-hour into the Gaussian channel, as long as we closed a 4-hour candle above there, which we did not. We stayed in the channel, which was a warning sign there. But it's on a lower term time frame, so didn't think much of it. We did come down here and bounce off of the mean band. Right here, the yellow dashed curved line. So that was looking good. We came back up on Friday, market open here, and started dropping into the day, into Friday's regular market open. And so that was concerning. And what was concerning too is that we did drop below our aqua line here. And when we came down below it a second time, it was a good signal to reevaluate things. But anyway, here we are. We didn't. So I was listening to James. What did he say? He said, we did have Israel bomb Iran. What was the other FUD he said? Oh, the tether FUD. Yeah, so we did have a little bit of FUD in the market. And, when we did see a rejection off of our, this bright fuchsia colored line here is the ultimate breakout point from our consolidation channel that goes all the way back to March. It is drawn off of the first two highs on the chart. And if you've been following anybody, you know there's a lot of different ways to draw this channel and the top of the channel. And so this would be the ultimate height that we need to break to be outside that channel. And so not being able to do so here, well, actually back here, and then we didn't even come up to it here. It's come on, where's my cursor? So we were primed for a rejection if we were going to get one, and we did. And as scary as it may have seemed, wasn't even 10%. We didn't come down very far. But what I noticed, where did we come down to? Now I've added this orange dotted line right here. I've added that orange dotted line, and it is a curved line. And when you see a dotted curved line like that on my chart, then you should think to yourself, hey, that's some sort of a Gaussian channel line. And in fact, it is. And it is the top of the 5-day Gaussian channel, which we had haven't visited in a while. And I just switched to the 5-day. I'm turning the Gaussian channel on, and then we're gonna hit our little, oh my Lord. Let's kind of zoom in here. And we are zooming in so that you can see that in fact, this orange dashed line that I have drawn is right here at the top of the 5-day Gaussian channel. Now, that's one of the problems we've had over the past, when did we fall into here? Back in August. Back when we had the Japanese thing. The Japanese carry trade, they switched their interest rates around. They started having interest rates. And people had been getting the free money and investing in risky assets freaked out. So that caused that little dumpage there and brought us into the 5-day Gaussian channel. Now, if you watch Gerber Baby, that's not a good sign when we do get into the 5-day. Well, I don't know. Any of the Gaussian channels, I guess. Once you dip your toe in there, as he says, tend to stay in there for a little while. And we did. We came down to the mean band. It looks like Wick through it a little bit, mostly stayed in the upper portion of the channel. And it looks like we are breaking out of that channel. I haven't kind of forgotten about this. And but I've been focused on the daily and the weekly and the 4-hour. Forgot about the 5-day. And so you can't really see. Well, couldn't really see these 5-day. Where's my cursor? Oh, couldn't really see these 5-day candles till I zoomed in. But here we are, and we came up a couple weeks ago, and I think this one shows that we did dip our toe back in here a little bit. But if I switch to let's turn this guy off first and switch back to an hourly or 4-hour maybe. Get rid of the words. So back here on the 23rd, I believe. Yeah, the 23rd of October, you can see that this wick did come down into there. Is that a big deal? I don't know. But anyway, with this wick here, yesterday, we wicked right exactly down to it. Exactly down to the top of the 5-day Gaussian channel, which is a really good sign, in my opinion. That means the market knew it was there. Investors said, hey, we're buying up right here. And since then, we have been, what have we been doing, if you notice? we're following up along this straight dotted line, which is the center of a channel, and it is this white channel, which is heading upward parabolically. And those white channels on my chart are the parabolic channels. You know what? These aren't anchored on. Yeah, but let me switch to the Coinbase chart right now. Let's go do that. It's less cluttered and there we go. Here we have the same channels. Now I turned everything to 1 point because it was a little bit too hard to see things. So I don't know, depending on how you're viewing this, it might be hard to see. We're on a 1 day. Maybe if I switch to a weekly, because I do have these, I believe, anchored properly so that they don't change around. There we go. Essentially, this is what's going on. Those parabolic channels right there describe our parabolic runs. You can see here back in 2017, we started up this channel, came over, and then continued up this channel. Had a couple pullbacks here. But you can see that those channels pretty well describe the parabolic rallies. And here in 2020, and this is actually October 2020, and we rallied right up that channel. Actually I can move it over a little bit and it would encapsulate the whole price would stay within that whole channel. But you get the point. And so here we are about to start our parabolic rally, I believe. And we're on a weekly time frame now. But as you saw on the previous thing, we were heading right up that channel. And in fact, this green smaller channel here, you can see the green smaller channel that I made that is right there. And if you switch to an hourly, where's our green channel? What's going on here? Oh, there it is. My lord, it is so tiny. But you can see, oh, that green channel was from before we collapsed through it. Price action was traveling pretty nicely up that channel, and then we came crashing down through it. Crashing down here when you're super zoomed in. And here, once again, right to that orange 5-day, top of the 5-day moving average. Yeah. So what's going on here? I've zoomed out on the 4-hour time frame, and I want to show you our inverse head and shoulders marked by these blue little brush strokes here. Our left shoulder was when we dipped down to 49K. People are going to say, oh, well, that's not a shoulder because it's like all the way down here below the head and everything. But this dip down to 49K was just a wick, really. If you cut that off, you cut that little tip off, we have a nice little shoulder right here. And then the head here and a shoulder here. Inverse head and shoulders is always, intersection. That's the formation that forms when two channels, parallel channels, intersect. And what do we have here? We have the purple channel right here. You know what? Let me switch to a daily. So while we do have our bull flag that we are trading in, consolidating sideways in, within that is this purple parallel channel heading price action heading downwards in that channel, which you can clearly see here with the yellow center line. And what we want to do is head back upwards in these green channels. These green channels that also show our price action since like a long time ago, all the way back in 2020. You can see how we've traded upwards in these green channels. And then we came to a halt here at this purple channel, and we desire to continue going back upwards in these green channels. And that's what gave us that head and shoulders right here. So that's why that aqua line is very significant. Now, you can see that we're not necessarily going to go just like in one of these channels. We could go through multiple green channels as we did here. We could go along one, jump up into the next half of that channel, jump up into the next half of that channel. And how we do that, especially in this part of the cycle, is with these parabolic channels. So I believe that that's where we're at. And I do believe we are about to head up through these other green channels. Now, since we are transitioning from this purple channel here into this green channel here, this green channel right here, and you can see all these red arrows that are perfectly parallel to that channel. So you can define price action by, see these, we came down here, here, here. These other channels depict places where we've come up to here, we've come up to here. So these lines act as support and resistance here and down here. So, that being said, it's not out of the question that we could come all the way down here to like 56, 58, something like that. And that would bring us back into those Gaussian channel things. So that would not be good. That would bring us back down into the 5-day. And I believe, yeah, also back into the 1-day Gaussian channel. We're on a daily time frame. We can turn that on. There it is. The reason why I think that is, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. So you have to be prepared for that. We have the 1-day Gaussian channel turned on. And the bottom of it is right there at the bottom of our channel. So that is not out of the question. And that could happen on Monday. So be prepared. if there is enough FUD out there, that could be a point where the bears would be able to scare people down to 58,631. So that's the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel. And you can see this red dashed line. That red dashed line is not representing the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel, but the top of the weekly Gaussian channel. So we could come safely all the way down there. Now, if we cross into that, that's not good. It's not good. We may be able to escape if we just touch in lightly, but still that's not good. That could mean that we would come down even further. Maybe not necessarily. Well, let's turn on the weekly Gaussian channel. Weekly. No, we don't want to do any of that. So you can see here that this red dashed line is right there on the top of the weekly Gaussian channel. Oh, I do have the whole channel marked. The orange line is the center line here. You know what? I should change that. Let's just do it now. Oh, it is red. Let's just make it lighter. There we go. Because I don't want to confuse it with the orange line for the 5-day, at the top of the 5-day there. So, well, you can see to the left over here, the prices are marked. The mean band is at 50,248, and the bottom of that is at 42,000. Right now, if we did come down into there, of course, we wouldn't necessarily immediately go all the way to the bottom. The channel's moving upwards, so if we did come down and go sideways, yeah, maybe we hit 48K or something like that eventually at the end of the year or something, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, that's a worst case scenario, and don't even think that anything like that is close to happening. I mean, if something devastating happened in the market, then yeah, that's where we'd go. But we're not there. We're going up here. We are going up here, but just letting you know, we can't predict what will happen, but we can predict what could happen depending on how things play out. So there you have that. And actually, that's what this red channel is here. You can see, and if we were on a smaller time frame, you would see the candles coming down in that channel. And this was just showing that we could potentially come down here, heading into all the stuff that's coming ahead. The big week in November, the end of October, and the big week in November. We got jobs data coming out here on Friday. So I did put this as a potential scenario, and then pumping into the FOMC meeting. But it seems to me we're following something more like this green line, which is green is good. That's what I thought happened. We're pretty much following it. Who knows what's going to happen here? I believe Well, I believe Monday we're going to explode up. But we'll just have to wait and see. My really, really bullish scenario was the blue line here. Now, these aren't precisely drawn like this green one was meant to come down. Both of these should come down to the same spot right around 69K. At the FOMC meeting. So even if we do come up here, there's a, and the reason I drew it like this, I'm just guessing that we would rally, we would see a breakout here, rally up, and then kind of pull back into the uncertainty of what we're going to get here with our data. And maybe even we get scary jobs data right here that would kind of pull us down. That would give a good reason for us to pull back down to retest 69 here, heading into the election and the FOMC meeting. But we'll just have to see what happens as we get there. Now, I don't want you to think, oh no, look at these red candles and his red channel, and yeah, we really could come down here. Yeah, we could. But also look over here, this red channel, I could easily move it over to here, and yeah, it would look like, hey, if you didn't have all these candles over here, it would look like, oh no, especially with these red candles here, look like, oh no, we're just going to go doom and doom and doom and go down there. But we don't. We go down, we go up, we go down, we go up. And to really show this, let's go back to our lots of line channels here and go on like a maybe a 4 hour is good enough. That I do have these yellow channels, not red, but yellow, that and we have our parabolic channels here, which are they're yellow on my screen because I have the blue blocker screen. I think they're white though, so I don't know how they'll show up on your screen. So these are our parabolic channels heading upwards here. And then we also have those channels which would be red if they were on the other chart. And so you can see how, since back here at 58K, where we came down to 58.8, and I did not get my 57,000 order filled. Because see, that would be if we did come down to where the top of the weekly and the bottom of the daily Gaussian channel were here. We didn't do that. So that's why I don't believe we're going to do it over here. Because they didn't fill my orders back at 57K. Why should anybody get their orders filled over here at 58.8, whatever? Well, that's really interesting. If that is now at 58.8, that would give us a double bottom. So it's just funny, see how the charts provide all these options. And you may think, oh yeah, we're going to have, oh, that makes sense. Now 58.8 there, 58.8 here. That's what's going to happen. Well, it could happen, and that's why the chart makes that. But it provides lots of other things where you could go, oh, this is really similar to that over there, and it's going to go this way. All those options are open, and you just have to be prepared for how the price action does play out, and various news comes in to give you more of a feel for which way it's going to go. But so what I was showing you here is how, since we did hit 58 here, then the price action traveled right up here in our parabolic channel nicely, and then it came down in these other channels. Let me open it up a little bit. Heading up really nicely here in this channel, and we are on the 4 hour, and then came down here, came back up there, came over to here, and then we came right down in that channel and kind of went sideways and came right down in this channel here. Then we went up parallel at the same slope, I should say, as our parabolic channels, and then back down here. And here you can see that we are traveling upwards again up our parabolic channel. Now I wanted to show you something with the oscillators that I'm looking at here, and in particular on the stochastic RSI on the daily time frame. I've drawn this yellow trend line here. Let me just isolate this. There we go. I've drawn this yellow trend line very accurately, touching these tips here on the 3rd of October and the 10th of October. Huh. Coincidentally, they're a week apart. And we're just about touching it right now. So I'm guessing we could see a bounce here. And if we did, well, the reason for that is that we did have similar. I didn't really take the time to really connect these accurately, but we did. Well, I could. Whatever. I don't need to do that now. So we had something similar back here in June, 24th of June and the 7th of July and the 25th of July. Well, this is too much of a pain in the ass. Let's see here if we can kind of check stuff out. So we came way down here. But then rallied here. So that's, yeah, that is what I wanted to show. So from our second touch of the line, right around the 7th of July, to where we touched it again here in like the 25th of July. So we're going to measure from th of July to, well, to the height, 22nd of July. It's a 22% move. It's a 22% move from here to here. So could we see something similar if we bounce here? Also, what is this at? Well, that's at 20, that's at 28 right now. Where was this back here? It's about the same. Yeah. It's also at 28 right there. $22nd of July is the second peak here. So, if we get a bounce here, can we then come up into this meeting and see a 22% move? Possibly into the, what? Into mid-November, maybe. The reason I said that is because, well, this rallied past the CPI data. Of course, it started a little bit closer. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good way to guess at it. But anyway, maybe we bounce here and head up, somewhere in this area into the first or second week of November. You know what? I actually probably have to zoom out enough that I can measure from here. %, gets us up to about 80,000. I had 85 in mind. Well, look at this. If we did, if we continued up in this channel here, that'd be about a 28% move, 85,000 at that white line. Why is that white line significant? Nobody knows. Oh, is it really? That white line is the famous line from which all parabolic rallies begin. That's the most important line in Bitcoin history. This parabolic rally here in 2020 started after a consolidation on top of that white channel for, God, a long time. December 2019 all the way to October 2020 for almost a year. Consolidation on top of that channel, and then boom. And then you go back here, 2017. Now, here, the channel acted as resistance. And then once we finally broke through it, we broke through it, and then we came down and tested it exactly right there. And then we rallied onwards and upwards. We tested it exactly at the 21-week moving average as well. That's interesting. And then back here. Arguably, we started it way before that channel, but when we got to that channel, we did have some consolidation within it very clearly. You can see, right, how we acted along the center line there and then continued onwards and upwards. So, wow, that's really interesting. Could we be doing something similar with our channel here? Here we are today. Wow, you're seeing it here first. So if we did move up here, we would be at our channel right around here. Huh. Yeah, I'm guessing we're going to be at 100K by the end of the year. Yeah. So maybe we do come up here and then consolidate within the channel a little bit. We hit 100K. This is making a lot of sense because I think once January comes, we're going to see a pullback. People are going to sell off so they don't have to worry about taxes for a whole nother year, and they won't have to pay the capital gains on a sell prior to January. So yeah, I think we'll have a sell off here and pull back. I think we'll pull back significantly, back down to maybe even 75, probably to our high of March, April, 74,000. I think that there's a good chance we would pull all the way back down there and then maybe come back up and consolidate a little bit more in the channel. Where does that channel take us if we did come all the way out to April? That takes us close to about 130,000, which some people have predicted conservatively. I think we're going a lot higher than that. I think we're going to go up to about 187,000 by April-ish time frame, and that would get us to, well, let me switch to the Coinbase chart. And why I'm saying that is our green channels that we're traveling in here. That we've been traveling in since here. This was June 2022. We started going up here. Remember, a lot of people were thinking this was the bottom right here in June. And it very well could have been without all the bullshit that was going on in the market. It was all these huge VCs and companies just doing crazy thing with leverage and yeah, with credit. Just imaginary money that was just out that they were using. The market was just all crazy. That very well could have been where we would have gone upwards this way, and I thought we were back at the time. Then we had other stuff going on, and even here we attempted to go up, but then FTX brought us here, and without the FTX collapse, you can see that, yeah, maybe we would have just kept going up here, because October should have been the bottom of the market. It was the bottom, the CPI data release in October. Oh, it's this white line. was the bottom of the stock market. You can look at any of the indexes and see that. And only crypto was affected by this FTX collapse here. So we could have very well traveled up here. And there was the CPI data release in 2023, the bottom of the market again. And we rallied up from there. So remember, we started over here in June of 2022. Come on. I'm trying to move my chart. And we've been traveling upwards in these channels since. And we had a major pullback here because we hit our previous all-time high level. A lot of people taking profits and just taking a big rest here. And I do believe we will continue upwards in these channels here. Back up to the top of the green channel. And of course we will go sideways a little bit. We might go up this channel, pull back a little, go up the next channel, something like that. Anyway, in April, mid-April 2025, well, we're up at a couple 100,000, but maybe we only last till March. Yeah, maybe 200,000. I think that's very reasonable. Anyway, just wanted to throw all this out here. Now remember, Coinbase is going to be shut down in 2 hours. You can see in the top left-hand corner. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Top left-hand corner of my screen here in California. It is 6:56 a.m. I don't even know what I'm doing here. A daily time frame. Let's go to an hourly. So Coinbase is going to shut down for a couple hours for routine maintenance. I wonder what that's going to do to the market. You can see we are kind of pulling back now. Anyway, that's why I de-risked a little bit, because I don't know if they're going to try to do some sort of flash dump downwards. And maybe I'm just being paranoid, but you know, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. And so I just want to be ready. I don't think they're going to come all the way down to like, they'd have to come way down to under $50,000. I don't think they're going to do that. They'd have to come all the way. Can they do that? Could they go like that? All the way down here? What's that? Yeah, that would get us in. Nah. Worst case scenario, maybe they do come down here. Anyway, I'm just being paranoid. Probably what's going to happen? Nothing. Probably nothing's going to happen. But we'll just see. Anyway, remember, do not like this video or subscribe to my channel. Don't tell anybody you were here. And we'll see you next time.